Welcome to the open book. This is your host, Lakeisha. I hope everyone had a wonderful Labor Day weekend. It is Tuesday. Okay, so we got a short week, but y'all know how these short weeks go. Sometimes they seem a little longer. Okay, make sure y'all come in, hit the like button, let everyone know we are live for a brief moment. I'm not going to be on here that long. Headed back to the house. I may go back to bed, y'all, for another hour or so before it's time for me to go to work. But I wanted to hop on and discuss a topic that's going around surrounding Snoop Doggy Dog. Okay. Now, and I did a video. If y'all haven't seen the video, make sure y'all tap into the video. I did a video last night. I was up late, y'all, and I'll reshare it this morning. But I wanted to highlight some things because I was listening to the Ricky Smiley show and they were kind of talking about it too. But if you don't know, Snoop Dogg took one of his grandchildren. I don't know if it was just one or it was multiple, but anyways, one of them asked him a question to see Pixar's Lightyear. Okay, and during the movie, there was a scene. I haven't seen the movie, but during the movie, there is a scene where one of the characters, Alicia, I guess, is involved in same-sex relationship. And let me also say, this live is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is covered under the Fair Use Act. Information shared is alleged in our opinions as we react to various topics and people. And during the movie, I guess Alicia's character is having a baby, and she's married to a woman. And so the grandchild asks Snoop in the middle of the movie, how is it that she could have a baby with another woman? And so Snoop was talking about this story on a podcast called It's Given, okay? And he said that he was just caught off guard with the question. And in the middle of a movie, he wasn't prepared, to answer something like that because he like, man, I'm just, here to see the movie. And a lot of people from that comment took it like Snoop was being homophobic, and so forth. Now, I didn't take it like he was being homophobic at all. Okay. I think we're so quick sometimes to just jump out and think if anyone has anything to say surrounding that, they are automatically homophobic. No, that is not the case. It's important to get an understanding of the context and what was actually meant by his statement. A real life example, y'all, my daughter was in second grade, okay? And there was a little boy. I didn't even know it was a little boy first. And there was a little boy. Now, his mom, let me say, everyone's their own preference. Hey, I have nothing against that, anything like that. I'm just speaking of a story, okay? His mom was in a same-sex relationship, right? And I did not even know that it was a little boy. And the reason that I didn't know it was a little boy was he loved to wear girl clothes. Now, whether that was his choice or the parent's choice, I don't know. And my daughter asked me the question. She had asked me. I don't know if anyone's commenting because I can't see any comments. So if y'all are, my apologies. Good morning to everyone who's watching. I didn't know how to answer the question. I knew one thing I said was, that's your friend. Continue to be his friend. Don't treat him any different because it caught me off guard. Okay. I was not prepared. And so I was a part of a mom's group on Facebook. And because we could, in that group, be very transparent. We asked questions. We gave advice. If people wanted to exchange baby things and all that different stuff in there. And I brought it up to them and I said, well, how would you all answer that question? If your child asked you that, because I to be honest, some stuff, y'all, even as adults, we can't answer ourselves. Okay. You know, we don't even know the answers, but you always want your children to show others with respect, you know, whether it is anything pertaining to homosexuality, disability, like all of that. We just gotta teach our children how to love each other, how to not treat anyone different. My mom was big on that, you know, not to treat people different, not to stare, you know, someone's different from you and all of that. She kind of put it in that aspect. Now, with that said, there were some things that we didn't see a lot of, as I know my age group growing up as a young child. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining. Please tap that like button and let everyone know we are live. I appreciate it. If you would like to support the channel, you're welcome to send a super sticker, super chat, cash app, which will be in the comments section of the description of this video. Okay, I'm just live randomly this morning about this topic, y'all. Good morning, Karen. Thank you for joining. And a lot of the things that are more I'm trying to go to word I'm trying to say that are you know, that we're okay with now, okay, are out there that we didn't see when I was younger. Okay, baby, we grew up on Smurfs. We grew up on the Jetsons, and there were just certain messages and narratives and storylines that were not a part of our time, okay, in my age group and older. So there are some storylines now that are, because of where we are in today's society and the variety of the different relations and types of relationships that people are engaged in, then it's becoming more prevalent in cartoons, in TV shows, sitcoms, and so forth. Okay, now, with that said, as parents, even it's almost like the world is a little bit ahead of us, because there are certain conversations that even as a parent, I'm not ready to have with my child, okay, or my children. I say my child because my daughter older, so she is a little more into some stuff, videos and all these different YouTube and all this stuff, than my son. He watches still the little kiddie stuff, but hey, they're a little ahead of us, okay, the world. So it's almost like we have to now, in our own way, start thinking of how to prepare them in case they see certain things, okay? Make them aware in their own little way, their own kiddie way, kid-friendly way, okay? Because some stuff we don't want to put on them too fast. And the reason I said that, good morning, welcome Smooth, thank you for joining. The reason I say that is, okay, I used an analogy of a car. Say, for example, your 5-year-old comes to you and says, I want a new Range Rover, okay? Now, at 5, you don't want to crush that dream of his to get a Range Rover. What you can say is, okay, let's go ahead and draw a picture of that Range Rover, okay? Now, maybe around 10, 11, I'll say by 13, you go, look, you wanted this Range Rover. Let's drive by the car dealership. Let's go look at one so you can see on the inside, okay? They get up to 16, get that little permit, okay? Then eventually get a driver's license. They graduate. You may surprise them at that point because they are now equipped. They're ready to handle that Range Rover and give them the keys to a new Range Rover, okay? It's when they're able to handle it. So although these things are out there, we have to sometimes not put so much on them at one time. Think of how we can do it at the kid-friendly level, and as they grow, kind of talk more about these things that they are going to see, because they're seeing it, okay? It's no hiding it from them. It's all everywhere, okay? It's whatever. It's gonna be everywhere. It's all in the cartoons, like Snoop said. It's in the cartoons now. Okay, so we got to prepare our children for the things that they're going to start seeing. Now, someone also brought up a good point under my comments and said that, y'all, we got to start looking at the ratings on these cartoons. Just because it's an animated cartoon does not mean that it's G. That's no longer a time that we live in, okay? If it's PG, that means parental guidance, okay? PG-13 is even, hey, a little more. And so I put under that video yesterday what PG meant. There may be some subject matter in that cartoon that parents have to give some guidance on, okay? Talk about it with your children. So if they're a certain age, then, hey, you might not want to let them see that cartoon, okay? So it's like, just doing some research on some of these cartoons, y'all, because I didn't even know. I've never seen that cartoon. Okay, so now I know if we go see that cartoon, that's just something, to prepare my child for. Karen said, looks like there are no age boundaries with anything that's out there these days. No, it's not. It's sad, okay? But it's not. Hi, Glenn. Good morning. And it's hard for parents to censor everything. I see that now with my daughter and my grandbabies. Yeah, it's hard because it's everywhere. And let me say, just because people want to protect their children and not discuss certain topics and subject matter at early stages or whatnot does not make them homophobic. Okay, we got to get away from that, y'all. Everything is not an attack. Okay, and I think some people come out before they get a clear understanding of what he meant in that moment. Oh my gosh, they were ready to crucify him. I had to go and get an understanding and listen to his comments for myself, okay? Because it wasn't anything against the community. He was saying in the moment he didn't know what to say. He thought he was just coming to see a cartoon. And his grandson asked him that question out of the blue, and he wasn't prepared. Now, we know genetically it's not possible for two women to have a baby. Okay, y'all got to understand, some of these kids, it's not even a homophobic thing. It's a natural thing. Okay, that's a natural thing. Genetically, what's the word? Y'all know what I'm saying. What's not genetically? I'm gonna say, what's the other word? It's early, y'all. Biologically possible. I think that's what I'm looking for. Now, we know as adults, there are ways for that to happen. There are a variety of ways, okay, for that to happen. But a child, that's all he was asking. The child didn't even mean anything by that. Okay? He's just thinking in his own mind. Two men, he would think, hey, that's not possible. Two women, that's not possible. But there are now options available. So that's the level of conversation that parents would have to have. Although I know it is not, your mind, you may think it's not possible. However, there are options, okay? There are ways that they could adopt possibly, so that's when you go into the different options. But no, I don't think the grandchild meant anything by it, by asking that question. And I don't think Snoop's lack of being preparedness made him homophobic. Okay? Some stuff catches us off guard. Our kids ask us questions all the time that sometimes don't even make sense. I'm like, I don't know. My daughter asked me something. We were on the road the other day, and she asked me something about, it was something about outdoors or something. I said, child, I don't know. Now, does that mean I have something against the weather? Does that mean that I got something against meteorologists? No. I didn't know the answer to that. I didn't know how to child ask Alexa. I don't know. Ask ChatGPT. So even as parents, we don't know how to answer, let alone these grandparents. Snoop is a whole grandfather, okay? And no, he be smoking that stuff. That's an added layer to his thinking. Okay. Good morning, Late. Welcome. Hey, rocking with Cowboys in the building. Good morning. Hey, my girl V. Thank y'all for joining this morning. Okay. Snoop is he's a whole grandfather. Okay. He was like, look, Snoop was probably chilling. Okay. Y'all know he probably was in there getting them snacks. Snoop said, what? Okay. His grandchild asked him, he said he tried to ignore him. He asked him again. So y'all know kids, especially at a certain age, you trying to be quiet, be quiet. And then they keep on asking because let me tell you, some kids, y'all, until they get their question answered, cannot move forward with their thinking. Did y'all know that? That even when teaching, okay, if a child has a question and they're stuck, they cannot move forward with whatever else you're saying because they're still stuck on this. I'm still confused. Okay. So that baby couldn't even continue to watch the cartoon because he's still stuck on how they got a baby. Okay. I'm just saying. Yeah, Glenn said he probably ate up he probably ate up all the snacks. Karen said kids ask the questions we are not ready to answer because they are asking things we know they're probably not ready for. Ooh, that's a good one, Karen. Okay, V said why he got a beard and nails. Wait, who Snoop? You know what? I don't even think I paid attention to the nails, but he definitely, Snoop was just, even on the podcast, Snoop was just chill. You know, if y'all look at the video, I did a video last night and it shows that little clip. He had his, little scarf on. Snoop don't be thinking. He just chill. He here, he relaxed. He just eating up the snacks, popcorn, probably about all kind of snacks. Okay. Now Snoop is the one you want to go to the movies with. Baby, he getting everything. You know, sometimes we looking at the menu and we like, ooh, this too high. Okay. Baby Snoop, he got the money for it. Give me one of them nachos. Give me one of them drinks. Give me the popcorn pack. Give me about 2 or 3 boxes of candy. Give me one of them pickles. He's the type you want to go to the movies with anyways. Okay. Let's see. V said, no, that's the type of stuff kids will ask. Girl, okay. He just was not ready for that. I don't think I would have probably in the moment been ready for that. Or, you just thinking your kid's just gonna bypass it, like, okay, this is not anything we're thinking about. So now I'm gonna have to start researching some of the animated movies I take my kids to too, y'all. I am to see what's kind of involved with it, who are the characters, what rating, because I didn't know that movie had a PG rating. So anytime it's PG, then there are some sensitive subject matters in that particular movie. Now, as kids get older, when I say like probably fourth, fifth grade and up, y'all, they know more than us. Okay, best believe if they're in public school, especially, and hey, nowadays, even private schools, they are having conversations and are exposed to a variety of things. Okay, I've seen it in action in all the schools. Okay, that I've been at, baby, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. So a lot of them have been exposed. They be cussing around each other just up a storm. And some of their parents don't even know. They be swearing on parents. So some of y'all involved in drama and don't even know. Oh, stop hiding. Show Ace some chocolate. Let's see. Glenn. I don't know what that is. Okay. They are smart with cell phones. Yes. Okay. And these cell phones are pretty much um they're great to have, in case of emergency. But this is why a lot of schools are going to the no cell phone policies. I don't know about in y'all states, but here in Texas, they're implementing where the kids have to put the cell phones up throughout the day. Now, they can have cell phones, in case of emergencies, before school, after school, because I like it. Okay. And the reason I like it is a lot of parents don't know the half of what these kids are doing with these cell phones. They're texting each other during class time. They're texting to fight. They're recording fights. They're scheduling. Back in the day, uh, y'all would meet up 3 o'clock. Well, it's on a different level. Okay, not only are the people that are fighting, but they have whole groups where everyone they know to be their cell phones ready so they can post to their fight groups. Okay. They are meeting up in the restrooms, recording themselves on TikTok, on Instagram, all of this while they should be in class learning the 1, 2, 3 ABCs. They're doing all of that and then failing. Okay. Some of them are failing. They can't multitask. Okay. So we got a lot of that going on. And so then you got on top of that, the inappropriate pictures and things being sent. It is a lot, y'all, with the cell phones. So I know, and some of y'all parents, I know, hey, you're texting your children during school. Stop that. Now, if they need you, hey, call me, text me. Okay. But baby, they can't answer you and pay attention to the teacher. Okay. Oh my goodness. Good morning, Passion Princess. Thank you for joining. Latte said, I think they stopped the cell phones too because the kids were making their parents aware of what's really happening on campus. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, but I like that part of it, so that the parents won't be nervous and wondering what's going on. However, because we talked about this in a security training, I know this conversation went somewhere. Even if your child is in danger, okay, and they text you from school, they don't want a lot of parents rushing up to the schools. And one reason, because I was like, well, shoot, my child was in danger, I know I would be rushing up there. The reason for that is it could be potential danger still taking place by the time you get up there. You could go into the line of fire. Okay. Another thing is the ambulances, the police will have a hard time getting through all of the traffic to get there quickly. If everybody starts showing up at one time, it just makes it extra chaotic. That's why they have certain locations where it's a designated location where danger takes place. The schools bus the kids or walk the kids to that designated area for parents to get their children. So that, and I had to learn all of this in a securities training for school one time because I had questions too, because that's the first thing you think, hey, I'm going up there, I'm getting my child, but in hindsight, how? Because you don't know what you're running into. Going into a building and you don't know if somebody's still there and so forth. And also with some of the cases that we've heard of, I know specifically the one in, I can't think of the name of the school, but this was the one where all the kids had to run and hide. Being quiet saved some of their lives, even in Uvalde. Hiding. I told my children, if anything ever happens, you better be quiet. Okay. And some of these kids think it's a game. Right now, we're not in a time where we can play around with lockdowns and stuff like that. You have to practice like you're going to play. Okay. Because we already see it can happen anywhere. During any moment. It is not to scare. Pray over your children every day they go to school. I told my kids, hey, and I know when I worked at one particular school, I said, because I had cafeteria duty, I said, because one of them, and I'm telling you, they ask you questions out of nowhere. They said, oh my gosh, if we're in here What if one we're right here at the front, And I said, hey, we don't know what we're gonna do, while we're in the moment. We don't. However, this exit door, that exit door right here, if I can anyway get out this door and take off running, y'all better haul tail behind me. Okay? Either you better go on that stage and hide and be quiet, or we getting up out of here running down the street. Pick one. Okay? Because you don't know what you're gonna do in the moment. Let's see. Glenn said, I don't allow my kids to take phones to school. Okay. Yeah. Hey D, welcome. Good morning. They just passed a law down here where you can't even have a cell phone in your hand while driving. Oh, wow. Okay. Good morning, sweetness. Well, I think that's probably everywhere. I think some of us try to get away with it though, but that's probably everywhere. You're not supposed to be driving and texting. Y'all, did y'all see this? It was this commercial. Well, no, it's not a commercial. Well, I saw a commercial first about this new product they have like an app called Turo, Turo. And I guess that you can rent cars. If you're in a certain area, you can rent a car from different people who are leasing their cars. Yes, that's what it is. I haven't looked into it, but there was this lady. I was watching this video on social media. I think it was Facebook the other day, and she, I guess, totaled someone's car. And she told the lady that someone ran her off of the road. Well, when the lady got her car back, she had a hidden camera inside of her car that the lady did not know about. Y'all, this lady was texting and she had one little warning to get off that phone because the car kind of swerved and she kept on texting. Child, she hit that curve. That car went over to the side and hit a whole sign. And it was the look on her face was like, oh no, girl, you didn't lie. So she totaled that lady's car, and that lady has proof that she was on the phone texting. Okay, so you got to be careful with this texting because, child, people get into whole accidents, especially if you're not even in your own car. Okay. D said one of my daughters don't let her daughter take her phone to school, and I told her I don't like that because it's too much going on. Yeah, it's a catch-22. It really is, because you want them to have it in the event of an emergency, and maybe just keep it in the backpack away, from them. But during school, it's a distraction, y'all. It really is. I've seen it so many times. It's not all of the students. Some can have one. You never know they have it, but some don't know how to put it away. I seen that video on Facebook. She started yelling. Right. Okay. Latae said, now that's creepy for her to have that hidden camera. What Dean was telling me about having a hidden camera in your car, just in case of some theft, you'll have video footage of them taken because you can monitor it from your phone. So if someone tries to steal your car, it'll give you an alert, kind of like the Ring camera, and it'll give you an alert about it. I said, I'm going to look into that because y'all, the other day, oh my gosh, I think my son, y'all, this is what we get for being nosy. This is a real life story. I'm embarrassed. I was nervous and all mixed together the other day. So the kids and I came home, and my daughter was like, oh, mommy, they over there fighting. And I said, oh, she was talking about the neighbors were over there fighting. So I had just gotten food for me and my husband because they had already eaten. So my hands were full. And we walk in, we didn't even try to play like we weren't being nosy. We were like full out just looking. Let's see. D said, yes, my son have that in his car. Okay, got you. Karen said it's a double-edged sword. You don't want them to have the phone for foolishness, but you want them to have easy access for emergencies. Exactly. So, child, me and the kids, my husband was already in the house. He was at home. He wasn't with us. So we like taking our time going in and we went in and stuff. And so I never looked back or didn't, I don't even think I locked the door, y'all, to be honest. The next morning we were going out of town. So my son get to the car. He said, Mommy, why my door open? And I was like, what you mean open? The doors were unlocked too. So number one, I know I did not lock the door. Okay. That's number one, because my hands were full and I don't think I locked the door. Y'all, I don't even know if my son closed the back door because we were so engulfed to see who was fighting and what was going on. Y'all, somebody got into our car and this was nothing but God. I'm not the one to keep anything of value in cars whatsoever because I get nervous about stuff like that. But it was like, it caught us off guard. It was like you seeing something, but you don't think you seeing it. And some people so ignorant. Now, they done took the papers out of the glove compartment. They left the glove compartment open, took all of the papers out, had the papers and stuff in the seat. They opened up the middle compartment. The only thing I have in there are some baby wipes and a box of tissue. Thank the Lord they didn't take either. I have my badge hanging, on here. We have that. I had just the day before stopped and took everything out anyways. Like I had cleaned out the car, threw trash away, and all of that. So, D, that's what I want to know. I don't know if they were looking for money, credit cards. I don't know what they were looking for. And the only thing, I don't know if they got in a rush, but I had a telephone charging cord and the little plug-in part. So they must have taken it out fast and dropped. They dropped the plug-in part that goes into the cigarette lighter and took the cord. Like, what you gonna do with that? You don't even have a charging part to it, unless you just need an extra cord, the charger. So nothing was touched in the trunk. Okay, we have folding chairs, the little chairs when you go places, you pull them out the little bag. We got those back there. We got cables, jumper cables, but we got library books. They didn't want to read, I guess. My kids had the library books in the back seat because they keep some books in the little pockets on the seats that we got to take back to the library. It was nothing in here. But the simple fact, y'all, it shook me up. The simple fact, anytime somebody's in your space or looking through your stuff, it's like, to me, a violation. Okay, you feel violated. Then you get upset. Like, how dare you? Even if the door was open. Y'all, I went one day to a friend it was actually last Thanksgiving. She had made some dressing for us and we went to pick it up. And her next door neighbor's truck, the back door was open. Now, I didn't think to myself, oh, let me go over here and look through this man's truck. No, I didn't go over there at all because I didn't know if he would have thought I did. I did not touch it. Okay. I told her she might want to let her neighbor know that he left his back door open because sometimes kids get out of cars and you just hitting the lock. They may have left it open. Maybe their hands were full. These kids don't be thinking. Their minds all over the place. We up here trying to see what's going on. Okay, they got little fruit snacks. They going in the house and they left your door open and you don't know till the next day. Okay. D says some people are so evil. Now whatever they was looking for, it was not there. Exactly. Because we don't keep stuff of value up in here. Okay. In no cars. Any cars that I have, child, you not going to find nothing of value inside the car. And thank the Lord, I told my husband, I said, oh, Lord, it's the catalytic converter still. Because now, if anything, that's what they take off of cars. okay, are the catalytic converters. It was, I know, really big in the Houston area and parts of the Dallas area. That was what they were taking big time off of cars. Okay. So we cranking up the cars like, whoo, thank you, Lord. That kind of set the tone for our Sunday. Okay. We were so like, I think we were just in shock for one, and we were thanking God for another because it could have gone another way. At least no windows were broken or, nothing like that. I do think that the door was open. I don't think, even if the doors were just unlocked, hey, I've left the doors unlocked before and nothing has happened. Okay. I think by the door being open, then that's like a sign of, oh, let me go see what's in there. And it probably was some little kids. One day, y'all, I had dropped a whole debit card. This is how I know that something else was going on that day because I dropped a whole debit card getting out the car on a Saturday. It wasn't until Monday I came back to my car. Why was my card still on the ground by the door? By where I got out. I don't know how my debit card fell out of my wallet that day, but I looked on the ground and I said, is that my debit card? It had been on the ground for 2 days. It was nothing but God that kept that debit card covered. Now, if that had been that day, they would have had that card. They would have been able to get that. Well, I don't know if they came to my, like, where I get in on the driver's side sometimes, they didn't come on this side. I think they stayed on the other side, and looked through, the glove compartment and stuff like that. They didn't even go in the trunk. They just kind of looked in the front seat and the back seat. Hey, what? Good morning. Thank you for joining. Yeah, so y'all just be vigilant, be careful. It's just so much going on. It really is so much in the world just going on. So I just stay prayerful. That's all we can do. We pray going wherever we're going, pray for traveling grace, pray for over your kids, pray when you get to work. That's all we can do now. Just trust God for his protection. It's just so much that goes on. But we went to a family reunion, my husband's family reunion. Y'all, when I tell you, oh my gosh, they have it of every other year, and I think the last one was my favorite. Now I like the location of this one. It was by the water, by the lake. They had rented out like a big cabin. And so when we got there, we thought it started at 11:30 because we didn't go to the Saturday event. Dee said that happened to me. It was still in front of my house. I looked down and put it up, and my name was never knew I lost it. Yeah, it had your name on. Yeah, girl, it was nothing but God. That card stayed on the ground for 2 days because we didn't go nowhere. We didn't have to go nowhere, so I didn't need it or anything that day. But y'all, I didn't eat that morning. For one, we getting into the car, and the car had been broken into, and then I got the kids something to eat. I really wasn't that hungry. So I'm thinking, okay, it starts by 11:30. So we'll probably eat maybe about 12:30, get everybody a chance to set up. Do y'all know it wasn't until 3 o'clock is when the food was ready. Now, I had gotten hangry. It was to the point I was about to I picked my purse up. This was what was funny. I told my husband, look, there is a Sonic 3 miles away from me because we were in the country area too, y'all. I am about to go to Sonic because I am not going to sit here, no longer. I got my purse, got up, went to the door. While the lady yelled, okay, y'all, so it's time to eat. So I had to play it out. I took my stuff outside and put some stuff in the car. And I come back in, my daughter said, oh, mommy, you can come on back. We're about to eat. And I'm like, girl, hush. I said, I had to put something in the car. I was like, how dare, and then on top of the eating, okay, so you couldn't even go up for seconds because you had late people coming. So my daughter tried to go up and get some more food. She gave her a little couple of spoonfuls of some sides. And so my daughter didn't tell me what the girl said. I'm going up there. She's like, Mommy, I need some more meat. This not enough. So I go up there. She was like, no, we're not doing seconds. We trying to make sure everybody get a chance to eat first. And I was like, okay, because I didn't know. And so eventually after everybody came, they let people get to go plates. Hey Aries LaRue, welcome. Yes, girl, I was hangry. Okay. Yes, I was like, girl, be quiet. I'm trying to play it off. Hey D Him, good morning. Thank you for joining. And so y'all, they finally had to go boxes, and everybody was getting a to go box because I guess all the late people came, and they let you come back through. I have never been to a family reunion where you gotta wait on dessert. So the dessert was not put out at the same time. You had to wait an hour and a half. I was like, what? Oh my goodness. So you don't want to complain too much. And so then after that, we got our stuff and we left. After that hour and a half, y'all, I was done. We left and came back home. So but it was nice, to see everybody. I love being by water. Oh my gosh, it's so relaxing to go anywhere where there's water. Hey Brittany, good morning. So yes, I had a great weekend. Just relaxed. I took the kids yesterday to a botanic garden. They had like little kid craft. It's like some different animals, and it was called what was it called? Cracked art. And you could just walk through the garden. And yeah, I'm going to work today, D. Yes, the kids come back to where I work today. They start coming back. I'm like, oh Lord, okay, I gotta get my mind right. But yeah, so we did that. Y'all, it was so much walking. Oh my goodness. I had never been to that part of the Botanic Garden, and I've lived here in this city or area, because I've lived all over the area here, about 25 years. It just made my 25th anniversary in August, y'all, that I've been in the DFW area. I didn't even realize it, but I had moved here with a bank because I'm from Houston. So I moved here in 2000. Okay, this is my first time being out on my own and in a new city where I didn't know anyone. I was on a relocation package that was only supposed to have been 2 years. That 2 years has now turned into 25 years. Oh my goodness. I never knew when I moved out of my mom's house that I would find my husband here, meet my husband, I should say, have kids. I've graduated with multiple degrees, 3 different degrees, and not like BB degrees. These are real. Okay. I had to throw that in there. 3 real degrees. Okay. I've traveled, met some great people, church family. So you just never know the path that God has you on. Okay, you never know what's in store. So if he tells you to move and you know it's truly God, move. Because you never know what is going to happen when you get there. How far did you have to work? What do you mean, Brittany? Like how far from where I live, or yeah, that 2 years turned to 20 to 25. And I love it here. I love it here. I was trying to get my husband to move. Yeah, I got 3 real degrees, D-Ham. and not online. Okay. My butt had to go to the building. Okay. Now I will say, for my master's degree, let's see, was it? Yeah, master's. I did have some online classes, but I actually had to go to the building on a couple of those classes. So yeah, this is not a, yeah. And then I have some doctoral classes under my belt. Okay, I just got to finish this last little phase. Okay. Y'all, it's just expensive. I'm gonna be honest. I need one of those. Sign me up for the honorary doctorate degrees that they giving all these rappers and celebrities. At this point, go ahead and just give me the honorary one, okay? Because I'm done. And I don't even know if I'm in a mental space for that. It's expensive. I'm just like done. At the second comment, let's see. What second comment, Brittany? I might have missed that. How far did you have to work? Oh, walk. Okay, got you, Brittany. Brittany, it was a let's see. That place is huge. Definitely 1 mile, 1 mile one way. But it's like zigzag. It was like I don't know if you've ever been to a botanical garden where they have like different sections. And so you walking through woods, you're walking through all kind of stuff, but it was beautiful. Child, by the time we got through all of that, and I think what made it it wasn't that the walking part, it was the heat part. And we didn't even take water because I didn't even know it was that big and all of that was back there because I've never been there. And so it was more so the heat started getting to us. Y'all, why I was so happy to see the little the little trolley. I didn't know they had a trolley. I said, what? Let's come on, kids. Let's hop on this trolley. Child, we took the trolley back to the front. Okay. I was done. Okay, I was done. And my husband, he got out of it. I told him, see, because he didn't want to go at first. He was going to go, but he was like, it's going to start raining. So I took a chance. I said, well, I want to take them one last place before they go back to school tomorrow. And so it rained a little on our way there, but by the time we got there, it wasn't raining over there. And child, when I got there and saw all of that, I was like, oh, it's too hot for this. So then that trolley came by. I said, okay, we're going to hop on the trolley going back. Okay, we're not doing 2 or 3 miles going back. Oh my goodness, but it was fun. It was a different adventure yesterday. So now they're back at school. Okay, praise the Lord. And I don't know, I may go in here and lay down for about an hour. We shall see. But yeah, I decided to hop on. If y'all missed the first part, we were just kind of talking about Snoop Dogg being under fire for his comments he made on a podcast called It's Given, which I don't think was, in my opinion, wasn't talking about the LGBTQ plus community. He was just saying he wasn't prepared to answer a certain question his grandchild asked him. So I did do a little short video about it. If you want to watch that in its entirety, Marlon Wayans, y'all, he came for him after that. And Marlon, it was just being loud and wrong. Okay. It did not take all of that because I think he misunderstood. See, what happens to y'all a lot of times with some of this stuff is people get on a train, okay? They don't try to get an understanding for themselves. What they will do is go with the flow of what the people are saying in the comments, on videos, and they don't even know what Snoop said. Okay, they just like, oh, what? Snoop out here talking about gay people? And I ain't trying to, I'm just saying. I'm using it as an example of what people saying. They don't even know what he said. They have not looked at the clip. See, I like to go and look for myself. Let me go see what was said, what's the context was said, and all of that. Not jump on the train. And another thing that I hate that people do, please, if you're going to do something for people, okay, just do it. Because now in his post, here he comes bringing up, and I defended him on this, and I defended him on this, and I did that. Okay, guess what? So if you did that out of the kindness of your heart, then hey, you did it out the kindness of your heart. Now the fact that you're bringing up that you defended him and he didn't ask you to defend him, then that shows you didn't do it from your heart. Okay, so what was the whole point in bringing all of that up? And who cares, Marlon? We weren't talking to you. And the reason that, I'm sorry. Hey, Dr. J, good morning. Welcome. Okay, Dee said I did see that, but I didn't know what happened. Right. In the simple fact, see, Marlon, he's so on the defensive because people have probably been speculating about his brother. Okay. Okay. And people would get on the defensive. He was not talking about the community. Okay, so Marlon, calm it down. Please calm it down, sir. I love both of these men. I'm a fan of both. But I just gotta call stuff out if I see it. Whether I'm a fan or not. I don't think Marlon, he was loud and wrong in that. I don't think that it called for all of that. That's all I'm saying. You done went on a whole when you needed to go on a tangent, go on it. Okay. This wasn't one of those moments. This wasn't a tangent moment. I don't know if he's trying to put his name out there or what. Snoop is gonna be all right. Even if he loses, I don't know, a little job or something they said that he possibly lost because of the comment. Snoop is set. Okay, Martha, look, y'all, I believe that even what's her name, Martha Stewart, child, he is good even with her in the shows that they do. Okay, if he wanted to keep doing that. Okay, y'all see how she was accepted back, after what she did and all of that. And they have a bond. Snoop done been all over at the Olympics. People like Snoop. He a good rapper, all of that. So I think he's gonna be good. But in this particular instance, I do think he's being misunderstood. His comment was being misunderstood. I stand with Snoop on this. He was not talking about the community. Okay, he said even his friends that are part of the community, they even been calling him, giving him love. They were like, we knew what you meant. It wasn't anything. So if they are okay with it, then what everybody else talking about? You probably don't even look. A lot of people up here running their mouths, they ain't even know what movie he went to see. Okay, this is how you know if people really know for themselves. What movie did Snoop go see? They don't know. They just going with the bandwagon. Oh, this is time to talk some noise. Let me talk some noise. Hey, blessed be her measure. Good morning. Good morning, dreamy girl, sis. Hey, girl, I'm just like, what movie did he go see? Oh, okay. What did his grandson ask him? Oh, okay. You don't know? Oh, okay. You just following the bandwagon. Oh, okay. I got you. I'm like, stop that. Like we got to do better. We can't look at every opportunity to be just a part of something, to be a part of it, just for the sake of, I want to go with the crowd. I've never been one to want to go with the crowd. Okay. I will go against the grain. Most of the time, I'm for the underdog. Okay. I'll be by myself. I'm an introvert. I do not care. I'm an independent thinker. So I'm never one to just go with the crowd. Now, when the crowd is right, then hey, okay. But if I feel like somebody's being misunderstood or something like that, then I'm going to stand for right. Okay. Everything is not an attack. Everything is not people. And we got to also understand, y'all, like Tay said, I would be in the background. Right. We got to understand it is okay for people to have varying opinions. We got to be okay with that. Okay. Everybody we're not supposed to think alike. And if it comes to a point when we all have to think alike, then something's wrong. Okay. I don't understand. I've never understood, organizations where people got to all think alike and you're forced to think like that. And if you don't think like that, you're kicked out or you're ostracized or talked about. No, everybody can have a different opinion at different times. So if that's his opinion on something or how he felt in the moment, we can't crucify people if in the moment that's how they felt. That's your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. We got to watch how we talk to people too. Okay, we got to respect if people have different opinions. Okay, let's learn how to communicate as adults again. Y'all, I talked about this probably 2 weeks ago, okay, or a week ago. It was 2 different days where 2 people felt comfortable to talk to me and say something in a tone that was not like I was an adult. Okay. And child, when I tell you, Keisha number 2, K2, was about to pop out both of those days. And I do not like getting to that level. Okay. Brittany said, yeah, me either. Open book. I stay by myself, but I talk to people. Right. Me too. D said, exactly. I always say that I stand alone, and sometimes you have to have your own mind and think for yourself. Right. Like y'all, and I know this is my TED talk on this part. We have to learn how to communicate better as adults. Everybody's grown until it's time to communicate. There are ways to say things to people without it being like you're being condescending or you're fussing at someone or you're loud talking them. Because one thing I don't like, do not loud talk me or talk crazy to me in front of people. Like that's the quickest way for me to go live. And I try not to. I'll try to move out the way and go calm it down because my face is going to show it first. That's the main way, okay. And I went to lunch with someone after that that I used to work with, and that was the first thing she said. I told her about what happened. She was like, "Oh Lord, well, did you put your mask on?" I was like, I didn't have a mask. Because y'all know when we used to wear the mask, I stayed out of trouble. It means when they were getting on my nerves, they couldn't see how I was looking behind the mask. But baby, when the mask come off, baby, my face shows everything I'm thinking. Okay, if I think something weird, my face is looking weird. If I think something is just, baby, okay, if I think it's funny and it's not an opportune time to laugh, I'm gonna have to turn my because, baby, I'm tickled. Okay. It's going to show on my face. Brittany said, yes, communication is key. It's needed in our everyday lives. Exactly. Yes, I know how to talk to people and never have to be nasty about it. Right. Hey, Daily Sizzler Jazzy J is in the building. Hey, sis, good morning. I haven't seen you in a minute, but I did see you've been doing your shorts. Okay. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, y'all, we just gotta, this is my TED talk on that. We have to learn how to talk to people, whether you're in a leadership position or not, whether you're on social media, whether you're at work, at church, wherever we are, we must learn how to communicate. Most of communication is your tone and your body language. Okay. People are okay. If you have to say no to something, just tell them no. Okay. You don't have to say it with an attitude. Certain things, it could be about the person. Maybe they're going through something. Okay. Now, if you felt like you talked to someone crazy, apologize. That's another thing as grown-ups, we got to learn how to do. A lot of people don't want to take accountability. They don't want to apologize for nothing. They don't want to say, oh, I was wrong for nothing. Okay. When you're wrong, you're wrong. Admit that you're wrong. Okay. And just move on. Some people think everybody else wrong. You always the forever victim. No, no, you were wrong in that matter. Take it, eat it, okay? And just apologize and move on with life. You don't have to live behind condemnation. Okay, you apologize and you move on with life. We're all human. We all make mistakes, okay? So no one is perfect. No one. Only Jesus himself. Okay. So once we get to the realization of some of these things, I think it becomes easier. I think it becomes easier to do that. Now, some people, y'all, I don't even waste my time with because they don't know how to communicate. I'm like, now why I'm about to go waste all my good brain cells? Child, look, you forgive and just move on. Some stuff I don't even want to address because it's not even worth it. Brittany said, yes, I change when people get me upset. It will show on my face, and I don't like when I get like that. I'm nice until you make me upset. Exactly. And you know what? This is how I know when I've reached the K2 level. When I don't consider consequences, where my mouth is about to just go off. And that's where I was, y'all, on the one incident. We were at a main event. This was a fun place too. And y'all, the way that it was stated, baby, my neck was going. I didn't care about no consequences. I was about to get my purse, leave up out that place, tell my husband I'm probably gonna have to find another job. Cause I don't know what they gonna say. Cause I was like, I know people. Y'all was so funny. Cause before I knew it, you have like the little neck roll, and you talking. Before I knew it, I said, I know people around here need to learn how to talk to people. Not the professional open book that y'all know. Oh my god! And now, in hindsight, when I think back to it, girl, all the ghetto was about to come. When that neck roll coming, and you said, I know people around here need to learn how to talk to people. And the look on my face, Shaw had to get up. I said, let me walk into this bathroom and calm down. Whew, baby, they had a laser tag event scheduled for after that. I didn't even go. Okay. I sat out by one of the games and called my husband, and I was telling him all about it. And I was like, well, I guess by the time they come out, I'll be calm enough and I'll play these other little games. Now, how we gonna be at a fun place and I'm up here mad? Okay, y'all done just messed up main event. One person. People like to twist things too. Right, Brittany? D said, Brittany, that's me, and move on. Still love you, just don't want to be bothered. Right. Right, exactly. Yeah, some people, I mean, you can apologize. Yeah, Jazzy, I'm telling you, girl, that day. And then y'all afterwards, they had free lunch. Now I was feeling some type of way if I didn't even go for the free lunch. Cause everybody, I took my own car. Some of us took our own car, and they had like a van for the other people, and they went out to eat at this it was like a deli shop. Y'all, I didn't even go. I texted her and said, I'm not gonna be there. I didn't even want to go because I didn't want to. My thing is, when you get to that place, shop, I didn't even want to go there and have an attitude and mess up, the vibe that other people may have been. I just wanted to be in my own zone. So I just chilled. Y'all, and went up to the job and sat in the office and listened to some music and stuff and just calmed down until it was time, because I had a meeting. I actually would have came home, but I had a meeting later on that I had to stay up there for. And yeah, just calm down, because then I was like, God, you got to calm me down. Like sometimes you got to get like that with God. Like seriously, before you do or say something that you might regret. When I see red, I remember one time I was dating this guy. I was so mad. And I was coming out of his mom's house. Child, I didn't care about the consequences. I saw red and kick that screen door almost off the hinge. And he said, ooh, girl, I'm glad you did not break my mama's screen door. I was just mad. And I don't get like that often in life. I really don't. It's every once in a while. Shout out to a dreamy girl for sending the floating heart. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't get like that often in life. It has to take a lot for me to get to that point. But that day, because it had already happened the day before by another lady, and then here it is happening again by somebody else, I was like, no, this is it. And I made sure I put that in my survey too. We got to learn how to communicate and do better with our tone and stuff like that. Because if I treat you with respect and I don't talk to you crazy, then no, we're not going to do that. So you have to teach people, y'all, in life. You have to teach people how to treat you. Okay? You have to, because if you don't, they will continue to do the wrong and improper thing towards you. So you teach people how to treat you. Or they just gonna have their own rules. And that's not okay. It's not okay. Nope. But y'all, that was all that I had for today. I just wanted to jump on. Y'all know, hey, I don't jump on that often. I said I'm going to jump on this morning because I heard Ricky Smiley. They were talking about the Snoop Dogg situation. And I just really felt like a lot of people were misunderstanding what Snoop was saying. But yes, like that lady said under my video yesterday, she said, we as parents nowadays, we really have to do our research before taking children to movies, because not every movie is a G rating. And hey, I'm guilty. I haven't researched these cartoon movies, and I don't take them to the big movies like that anyways a lot. But now I am going to start looking into it before I take them. Wild open book, really, yes, treat people with respect. Can't let people walk all over you. Yeah, I've never been that type. Yeah, right, Jazzy J. Me too. I stay to myself too. I do too. Thank you, Brittany. Yeah, I do. And people are surprised by that, because I'm an extrovert when needed, because I got to work with people. I'm in leadership positions and things like that. So I have to learn how to talk to people, how to be a people person. But my comfort zone is being by myself, or, being to myself, at home. That's my comfort zone. But you got to do what you got to do. hmm Yep. Jazzy, you sound like me and I love it. Yes, Jazzy J, she is cool too. Y'all gotta check her out. She has a whole vibe. She's just relaxed. Some people you don't even have to meet in person, but you get a feel for their personalities and how they are. And she is one that seems like very laid back and cool. I love watching her lives and things. So you got to come on back with your lives, Jazzy. Yes, girl. And D too. Me and D, y'all, we'll get on the phone like we sitting on the porch. Okay. I didn't spend my whole day with D. Was it Saturday? Child, some people you just get comfortable with. You sitting there talking like you on the porch. Shoot. But y'all, thank y'all so much for joining on today. Make sure you hit that like button. Also, if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell, because you never know when I'm going to go live. Also, special shout out to Dreamy Girl for the floating heart today. Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate that. And thank you all for joining. I hope y'all have a blessed Tuesday. Until next time, talk to y'all later. Bye bye.